Okay, let's go.
Hi, friends of the Coachella Valley. Jose here from the New Mindset. Well, let me tell you, the world of sports is about to get shook. It's about to get shook, and it's all thanks to this person that's here sitting with me today. Could you please introduce yourself? Tell us what you do.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brook Siberian. Most people know me as Mighty, and I am a professional boxer out of the Lee Espinosa Coachella Valley Boxing Gym.
Ooh, let's go. Hey, listen, that was a better intro than I thought it was. That's good. We're already in a good way. So let me start from the beginning. So let me ask you, where do you come from? Like, where were you born? Where'd you grow up?
Okay. Yeah, I grew up in Montebello. That's where I was born and raised for, the large percentage of my adolescent life.
Okay.
My first love was soccer. And that's always been a very big part of me and who I am, my values, and just kind of what drove me, I think, to boxing.
Okay.
Yes.
How young were you when you started playing soccer?
5 years old, and I stopped at 18 when I was ready to go to college.
So you did it pretty much through like elementary, middle school, high school. So you always had sports in your life, basically.
Soccer was my life, yes. And when I got to high school, it really became my main priority, and I was on the road to try to get a scholarship for college.
Okay. Playing soccer.
Yes, playing soccer.
And so before we get into that, do you have any siblings? Or are you like?
I do. So I was an only child for 14 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. So my younger sister, Sydney, she's 17 now, and she's getting ready for college herself, which is insane. But yeah.
You look so young.
Oh, thank you.
Like, you really look like, you said she's 17. You look like you're like 19.
Oh,
like, that's great.
Oh, thank you.
So
And la crema pons. That's what my grandma says.
For all of you that don't know.
Yeah.
So you have your, how far apart are you guys? 14 years exactly?
Exactly.
14 years apart. And so you did it. It's not like you went through high school and she was there with you. Or anything like that.
No. So actually, she was important part in my teenage years, because if I want to go to the mall, I had to take her with me. Mm-hmm. And so I played more of a mom, relationship with her. Yeah. So that's kind of how we are. I mean, we've definitely gone closer now, but there is that large.
Were you when you are home? Did you have mom and dad too, or were you like just an only child with a mom or a dad? Like, how did it work for you?
So my biological dad was around on and off until I was about 12. Okay. But really, I was, my mom was single mom, but had the help of a lot of family members. Okay. And so I spent a lot of my adolescence with my grandparents.
Here.
I know.
Shout out to grandparents.
Shout out to grandpa.
People don't know.
Yes.
It's important.
Yes. Yeah. And then, but yeah, we had a great village. Like, that's what I always say. Yeah. And then, but my dad, Hugo, he came into my life at 5 years old and legally adopted me at the age of 12, which was my asking. So I asked him if he could do that. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I've only seen videos of that.
Yeah. So he raised me in my
Who's your dad?
In my brain.
Yeah.
That's my dad. Yeah. And so he
what was his support like when you're doing your sports and you're doing everything?
Oh my gosh. I mean, not just sports, everything. I mean, the discipline of school. Sports too. I mean, he didn't miss any practice. He took me to my games. He was there. My toughest, I guess, critic, because he always pushed me to strive for more, be better. And, but at the end of the day, it was a lot of love. And he never, ever, ever treated me like I was his stepchild. Never. So, I'm a firm believer in that, and just, I mean, the cycle kind of repeats itself, and and I think it's beautiful how God
the fact
works.
that because people that have been in that world, right, understand it better, and not just what you're walking into, but like what it's about, and how to be there, be supported, be in the moment. That's
yeah.
So you did grow up a little bit with your grandparents too.
Mhm.
And what was that like? I mean, you know what? When you talk about roots,
Yeah.
and everybody has their own roots. You know, whether you're Latino, you're whatever you are, it doesn't matter. But so growing up and having your grandparents, what did that mean to you? What was that like?
I mean, it was just so wholesome, you know? I mean, it was everything. Like, even now, if I smell, you know...
Albóndigas.
Yeah, pozole, carnitas, you know, like anything, el cafecito en la mañana, like everything just really comes back to that, you know, how I love my pan dulce, and, you know, it's all because of really, you know, them.
I mean, it's true that our grandparents really teach us our roots. It gets lost sometimes in the culture, but if you have that strong root, it's always there.
And for me too, you know, they've always been really hardworking people, humble people from, you know, both from Mexico, and they
you know
came
what part
to
of Mexico?
Michoacan. Yeah.
Oh, that means you know how to cook real good.
I mean, I can't take credit for that because I don't practice like I should, but I recognize really good food.
That's good.
Yes.
I have a bunch of friends from Michoacan now, man.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like albóndigas con arroz. I'm like, dude, call me.
Everything,
I'll taste it. Just give me the spoon. So then, you're growing up in your family. You're growing up in Montebello. You go through all that. What was high school like for you?
Okay, so by high school, I'm already, mom and dad are home, and they actually give me the opportunity to decide if I want to go into private school in middle school. And that school that I went to was a college prep school, and that would lead me to my high school. So
what was it? What was the school?
Chaminade.
Okay.
So Chaminade Middle School, and then that kind of made it an easier transition for the high school.
Yeah.
High school, they had a really great soccer program too, so that was already like in the works, you know.
Oh,
so,
I see. So it was always your path to kind of go in the soccer route.
Oh yeah, I mean, my dream as a little girl was to become a professional soccer player.
Wow.
So Mia Hamm was like my idol. Obviously, Beckham, like all of them, you know, Ronaldo, that was my life, and I loved it. And then at 18, it was time to go to college, and I wanted to go far, far away. So I decided to go to New Jersey.
Stop.
Yeah.
So hold up. What school in New Jersey?
Ryder.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, I'm really surprised.
I know more than you think. I just
Most
like
people
I like
don't.
my American culture. So you're talking to me about Jersey, New York, and all those areas. Listen, I don't know if you've ever heard of Hamilton.
Yeah.
Heights, stuff like that.
Yes.
I'm into history, and I just know when I know, I know.
Okay, cool.
So, Ryder, did you go?
Yes.
How was that?
I'm
jealous of you right now.
No,
Let me
for
tell you.
me, it was perfect. It was exactly what I needed because, yes, it was in central New Jersey, and it was, you know, about an hour from New York. So it was very suburban, and it reminded me of Gilmore Girls. And for me, growing up, I loved Gilmore Girls.
That makes so much
So
sense,
to me, it was like, oh my gosh, the epitome of this, right? So I went and I loved it.
And you were living every step up movie fantasy people have
Exactly.
had. Like, I get
Yes.
it. Yeah.
And now that I look back, I'm like, it was perfect because it wasn't in the crazy hustle bustle of a city. It was still, it still was small enough, and I was like, you know, focused and you know, like not in the craziness.
Were you by yourself?
Yes. So I had never been to New York or anywhere in the East Coast.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody over there except one girl who recruited me, basically, from Riverside. She lived in Riverside at the time.
Yeah.
So I went, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it and see. And moved over there. Loved it. Ended up graduating, but stayed because I was like, I never made it to New York. I came all this way, and I like,
never
never
went to the Big Apple. Oh.
I went like maybe one time, right? But I'm like, I need to live there and work there. So I got an internship.
Wow.
And that summer after graduation.
What did you graduate?
I graduated like the year 2000.
What was your major?
Sorry.
No.
I'm like, I don't know. I just graduated.
I'm there.
I know, business management and marketing.
Okay.
Yeah. That gave me an internship at the Wall Street Journal, which is still there. But after this internship ended, I'm like, I need to make this full time. So I actually started working at the headquarters in Times Square.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that like?
A movie.
Yeah, that
To
sounds
me,
right.
it was a movie. I didn't live in New York. I lived on the last bus stop of New Jersey. So right
Okay.
before the Lincoln Tunnel.
Yeah, so you literally were still in Jersey.
Yes, all my best friends were in Jersey, so it was perfect.
And
I had a little bit
everything is
of
legal in Jersey.
I had a little bit of my
That's fantastic.
friends and family there, but then I was working in the city and it was great. I mean, a lot of learning experiences
Right.
there. I mean, it
And
wasn't
you were by yourself. You were dealing with yourself.
yeah.
Finding yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going through college. You know, you gotta kind of figure yourself out.
So now this is where it transitions to the boxing. So
Okay.
exactly what you said.
Yeah.
I've always been like, okay, this is the next step. This is the next step. So I graduated college, which was the biggest thing in all of my family because I was the first college
you're the first
graduate.
one?
Yes,
Okay.
in my family.
Okay.
And then to do it across the country, nobody even left Fallbrook,
Wow.
or
Wow.
LA.
Yeah.
So that was pretty big. And then I got this big time corporate job straight out of college.
Yes, you did.
So
wow.
on paper and then like saying it out loud, I was like, I made it.
Yeah, right.
Right? Okay. But now what? Then what? Then what? And then I was like, so what? I just do this from 9 to 5 and that's it?
So something came along.
So then, yes.
Okay.
So then I'm like, okay, I'm working 9 to 5. This is great. And I just go home and do nothing.
Yeah, right.
So that whole kind of phase.
Something happened.
Yeah, so it faded. So then I got the bug. I'm like, okay, I'm gaining weight and I just feel like a slob. But then also too, like, I need something, stimulation. And then I started to try all types of things. I did, I would do Pilates. I did like sewing classes. I joined a city soccer league there too to meet people and, whatever. I did like art classes. I did all types of things.
Yeah.
And then I stumbled into a fitness boxing class and I'm like, oh my gosh, my mind because I was like, okay, I'm working out. It was something completely new and it was mentally stimulating for me because I was good enough, right? Yeah. So all the teachers were like, wow, like you can pick it up fast. You're, fast learner.
You're a natural sport person. Yes. People didn't expect that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, it was just, at the time, it was just so entertaining. And then the community, the women, and those ladies they were committed.
Right, you would see them.
Like, it wasn't just like going to the gym and being on your phone, like maybe going on a treadmill. No, they were there and they knew all the combinations. And so it was like, oh wow, I want to be part of this community. Okay, fast forward, I do that all the time. I even try out to be an instructor.
How long were you there before you realized?
3 months of doing those.
So within 3 months, you were like, okay.
Yes.
Let's go. This is the next step. I know what I'm going to do next.
So after the 3 months, the conversations for me to move back home with my boss was already in the works because I'm like, I've had it. I was in New York for 2 years.
Yeah.
I was in debt like crazy.
Sure.
And I was so over the winters.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand them anymore.
So you came to the...
No, that came later.
That came after, okay.
And so then they're like, yeah, we have an office in LA, like, no problem. And then I was like, yes, perfect.
Yeah.
So I moved back home.
Okay.
And when I was home, these fitness boxing classes were in Santa Monica and
right. They're really like in the
exactly.
Beaches,
So it was not realistic. And then at that time, I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can, start looking and see, maybe I can fight. That's where I found 818. Okay. I go in there and then I'm like, wow, this is where a real gym.
And you said an 818 is over in San Fernando?
San Fernando Valley in LA County. Gotcha. Yeah. So, yeah. And
So then you find it, you came back,
yes.
You made the decision, you found it.
Yes.
Now we're in the place where you take this decision.
Yeah.
Before we get to that.
Okay.
So let's cut to a quick commercial. This guy's good. I don't want to cut the commercial. Let's cut to a quick commercial and let's come back. And when we come back, let's talk about the big decision. Let's talk about where this is taking you. And let's talk about today. All right, we'll be right back, you guys. This commercial spot could be yours. The New Mindset of the Coachella Valley is broadcast throughout Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, and all your favorite podcast stations. For more information, don't forget to reach us at The New Mindset OTCV on Instagram or The New Mindset OTCV at gmail.com. All right, and we're back. So, okay. You were over in Jersey. You found this hobby, let's call it.
It's for sure hobby.
And then you were like good at it.
Yeah.
And people recognized that. And
Yep.
they said, wow, you are like so good at this. You should do this. So then you have a conversation. You make your way back to Riverside, back to LA, back
Yes.
to California.
Yes.
And then what happens?
And then, so now I'm in a gym with active fighters. That's one of the important aspects of the gym that I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I start training there. I even start to teach women's classes.
Oh, you actually taught?
Yeah.
Wow.
They actually encouraged me and empowered me to do it because I was like, oh no. Anyways,
Mm.
I start getting coaching lessons from Jose,
Mhm.
and I start sparring. So that's the first time I started sparring. The second time I sparred ever,
Mhm.
I got my nose broken, and it was by my really good friend Nicole Benner.
I don't know, that Nicole.
Nicole
Get her here now.
Chisholm. Nicole, yeah, she is very heavy-handed, and I was super green, and but I knew that I was about it because I was more upset that I would have to wait to get back in there
Yeah.
than to be like, I don't want
To
to
not do it.
So I was like, okay,
right,
whoa, and I'm
right.
like, those are the types of things that nobody can tell you. You can't even say for yourself. You just have to experience it, and then you know that if that's your instinct or not.
Yeah.
So after that, kept training, and then that was about all of 2019,
Yeah.
and then we were getting ready to start amateur.
But then 2020 hits.
Exactly, COVID.
Yeah.
So I'm like ready. I have my book. I literally remember I posted on Instagram. It might have been like that first, I don't know, February, and then March everything closes down.
Yeah. Right.
So, by the way, he was trying to court me for a long time, and
Hold on, let's go back. Let's go back. Hold on. So there's another person in the room.
So when I met her,
You just jumped in. I love it. Okay.
Wait, he has to introduce.
So let me tell you guys, there's a few people here in the room, and this man Jose, he reached out to me to get an episode. Dude, the moment we started talking, I knew I gotta get you guys in here. Very proud to have you. Tell us a little bit about you. Who are you? What do you do? Walk me through it.
so my name is Jose Zamora Soto. They call me Mega. A lot of people know me as that and call me that. I'm a professional boxer since 2015 and been boxing since I was 14. Currently, I'm 33 years old. My record's 12-3. The last, I want to say 3-4 years, my fighting has slowed down, but it was all strategically planned to get her where she's at right now.
Okay. So you really quick. I love this. We're gonna take a quick little footnote here. So how long were you courting for?
So when she walked in the gym, my coach kind of played Cupid at the time. Coach Edgar from 818 Boxing played Cupid. He walked her up to me. He's like, oh, because she was interested in taking maybe privates, joining the gym first and then joining the fight class. And he was like, oh, well, this is my fighter right here. He's actually one of my coaches, and he'd be willing to train you. So I'm like, yeah.
Y'all call that Cupid,
So, right? He walked. She was like, we introduced each other, and then she walked away, and then immediately I touched my coach. Was like, that's fine. And he
Got
was
it.
like,
Got
"What?"
it.
And he was like,
Gotcha.
"You have no shot." I was like, excuse me. He's like, you have no shot whatsoever.
Oh no,
I
those
promise
moments.
you. I was like,
Those moments where they tell
Alright.
you can't have this. You're like,
all right. And obviously I was about 168 pounds at the time, and I had like this big Jerry curl basically.
okay.
Right? So I was chubby.
He was going through it.
I was like, but
He was going through it.
bunch of some.
Yeah.
I think it was probably like already a couple months without fighting, so I blew up a little bit, started training more people, right? Getting into the coaching, and then
Right.
then she walked in, and then like changed that all around. Within a month, I was back down to 140.
Wow. Yeah.
She,
But
Couple hairs.
at that, when I came in, I was getting out of a relationship, I believe, and I was like, I'm not trying to meet anybody, get into a relationship.
That's when it happens.
I'm here on a mission. I want to learn and fight. And then
I was willing.
in my mind, and I'm like, and a coach at the gym that I'm starting at. No, that doesn't
way.
even.
Yeah,
there's
right.
no way.
There were all these blocks.
I'm
right?
like, I don't even want to,
She
start that.
She hit me with "You're not my type."
I know. I'm sorry. You're not my type.
I was like, what do you
Wow.
And I said, well, it's my coach. We have to,
Oh, yeah, throw that in there.
mean? No, what's your type?
And so
Big guy, 200 pounds. I'm like 6'2", 6'4". I'm 5'5". Come on.
Oh
What are the
man.
chances? No. And then time went by. I courted her for 6 months.
Okay.
and and it was all COVID too.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Whoa.
Yeah, it was from June 2019
Step back on that.
to January 2020. That's when
Wow.
we made it.
And here
Yes.
you guys are today.
yes,
And
Congratulations.
then by November 2020, we made the move.
Hey, when did you? Because you're engaged.
Mhm.
When did you propose?
December 31st.
Yeah.
December 31st.
Oh, so literally you were
2021.
like, hey, coming into 2021, it's gonna change.
January 1st, 2022.
2022. Yes.
When the
Wow.
clock struck.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, that's a huge step. That honestly, some people at this table can talk about this, but we know and understand that that's quite the process to go through, and that's quite the adventure. Boxing is great, but getting married is a whole nother venture, and get ready for it. Those rounds. Keep going.
Yeah.
There's no bell there. There's no
Mhm.
bell for sure. So, wow. So let me back up a little bit. Let's talk about you. When did you have your first official fight?
Okay.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. So November 20. So COVID wiped out the whole year, right? And
March 14th.
So we had a decision to make, and we ended up moving to the desert November of 2020.
They reached out to me, that Chocolatito Gonzalez,
Oh yeah.
Nicaraguan
Yeah.
world champion, 5-time world champion. I'm from Nicaragua, right? So I got an invite to come and spar with him.
No
And
shit.
as a boxer from Nicaragua, I was like, that's like
That's
like a dream come true.
Yeah.
100%.
That's a legend.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Muhammad Ali called you.
Yeah.
exactly.
Basically.
I was like, of course.
Yeah.
So I talked to her about it, right? At that point, we were really talking, like, I was courting her. So I was like, let's make this drive,
Yeah.
back me up.
Yeah.
So we came one weekend and we spent the weekend, and then that weekend became 2 months.
Yes.
Oh, you guys fell in love with it. Oh yeah.
No, we go back.
Yeah.
And
So
then
we
kept
would come
coming back
every weekend for
Oh.
2 months.
2
Yeah.
months straight.
And living in LA, he grew up in Inglewood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Born
Okay.
originally.
So night and day, right? And
Oh, yeah.
so when we were coming here, and then because it was for boxing, it was just, I don't know, it was just perfect for us.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
At the end of that camp, they looked at me and they're like, "So you're just gonna keep coming over here and learning, or you're just gonna keep making the drive for the money, or?"
Yeah.
He's like, "If you come over here, I'll train you."
Yeah, they came to the point where they had to help you make the
I'm gonna
decision.
charge you.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
wow.
okay." To train you, I was like, "Oh, okay." And I still kind of like, I didn't want to, right?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
she kind of looked at me like, "What's happening? Time's ticking."
Right. Right. Oh, and this woman has plans,
Yeah, like,
obviously
what's
when she
happening?
sets her mind on it, you guys both do that.
We're like, okay, well, I didn't want to leave.
Yeah, 100%.
She was gonna stay with her mom, so I was like, man, it's a big decision. But
Yeah.
we've done it. I think it's not as bad as we thought it was. I thought it was gonna be, right?
We never know. It's really tough to know until you take that step. It's hard to know what's gonna happen, right? The thing that people that sit across the table from me that are successful 100% of what they do will tell me the same thing every time. Each failure is a success.
Yeah.
And without that first step, you don't have the first failure. So
Yeah.
where is
You gotta
the
make the step.
Yeah.
Just find out.
every time?
So yeah, we made the move. Probably within 2 weeks, 3 weeks after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
November 1st.
I said, we have to give yourself a year. Worst case scenario, it's horrible, whatever. We move back home.
Back.
Oh
So
yeah. You have choices.
worst case scenario,
point.
and so I was like, but if we want to make any strides towards the bigger plan, the bigger picture,
Mhm.
these are the little sacrifices, the little steps, the scary steps that I think we have to make. And so
Yes.
so we did that, and then
And so your first fight.
was May 2021.
Okay.
So about
Walk me through
7
that
months.
first fight. Tell me. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a very deep question. Think about it.
yes,
Okay, take your time. You don't have to answer it right off the bat. So you know you're gonna go get into your first fight. You're training. I'm assuming almost no sleep, right? 24/7. You gotta get your sleep in. You're like thinking about it or something. You're probably super excited. You get on that ring, and the first bell goes. What goes through your head?
I debuted as an amateur in Nicaragua, Managua, Nicaragua. Marcos Caballero is our trainer. So we started training with him November 2020. Got me ready, and then 3 weeks before the fight, there was an opportunity that came up, and then obviously we're getting ready, and they're like, "Well, she can get an amateur fight." So we're like, "Okay." So in 3 weeks, we raise the funds, make it all happen. We get there, and then the night before, not only have my first amateur fight, but I have 2 in the same hour.
In 2 different locations.
Different locations.
What? Wait a minute.
Okay.
I'm asking you about day one, man. That's the first week.
So we fly into Nicaragua, and it's like, I don't know, a couple, like 3 days. No, it's like a week before the fight, right?
Okay.
I don't have a fight. We get there thinking that I already had my fight. There's no girls. So we made all this investment. I'm telling you, sponsors, everything.
God.
We're promoting it on social media. So we get there. There's no fight for me. So, but we keep it quiet. We just keep rolling. Nobody knows anything. Chocolatito's like, don't worry about it. I got it. We'll figure it out. We'll bring somebody from other one.
Just somebody.
It's happening. Okay. No, don't worry about it. So then, literally, I think 2 days before, I think they end up saying, "Okay, we got it. There's an event here, and then there might be another one that we can squeeze in this weekend too." It's like, great. The day, I don't know, probably the day of. There's just like, it's crazy chaos, and we do a weigh-in, and which was interesting. They did it the day before, which is not normal for amateurs. But anyways, so I weigh in, and then come to find out that it is on the same day. And we end up taking like police escorts, right? So we get police escorts to one of the events.
Talk about the nerves, right?
Okay, and on top of that, we're running late because because we're waiting for the ride, and where we're staying is a little further out. So I'm literally we're like with the siren, la sirena, and we're going the movie. We get there. I go to the bathroom. I like change really quickly. I come out. I literally throw like a couple of punches, like put on my stuff, and then adentro, so that I didn't have any time to process it, because I was literally changing and calling my mom like, I don't know if they're gonna stream it. I don't know.
Yeah, you were trying to figure it out.
Mayhem. So we get in there, and then it's the fastest 3 rounds, and I would think it was 2 minutes, right? 2, 4, 6, like 6 minutes of my life, and I don't know what happened. And I ended up winning, yes.
Well, of course,
but what I'm saying, like, it just...
That's so bizarre. Yeah, it's like, you were just in there, like, I just got here, bro.
I just got here, like, all the adrenaline. That's something that nobody can explain to you, or even...
I mean, you putting it in words is difficult.
Exactly.
And you're living it.
Like,
That's
you can't
insane.
explain it to someone. They have to experience it for themselves. And when they do, it's almost like only in certain situations can you even experience it.
So that was your day one.
Day one.
Wow.
No, it's not over. Okay. So I get out. So then I get out. Yes. So Chocolatito's there. He's watching it. He's like, okay, cool. We come out. Boom. They take off my gloves, but leave my wraps and everything on. We get in the car. Everybody's like, come on. Again, the siren.
Yeah.
And we go about 10 minutes, right? We're going on opposite sides of the
oncoming traffic.
It's literally like Fast and the Furious.
God. How many movies do you live?
We're going like this. Like, there's video somewhere, I think. And we're going. We get there. The girl is already warmed up and everything. We walking up the steps. They're like, "You're up," and I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "You're up." So I'm like, "Okay." And then get this. They didn't have gloves to supply the fighters.
Stop it.
So normally in normal fights, you're given sanctioned fights, gloves. You gotta
make sure there's nothing in it.
So I end up wearing 10-ounce professional fight gloves, because that's what I had in my bag, which amateurs have uniquely designed. So they're like, yeah, sure. So I have my professional cast on, right?
Oh my
Because I was
gosh.
wrapped like it, and
Yeah.
then 10-ounce professional fight gloves.
Oh,
So-
that was heavy.
So they just put them on, and then we're like, all right. So we make it to the canvas, and
Yeah.
we get in there, did the little introduction, and then I get the ref stops it in the first round. Yeah. So they give her like 2 8 counts, and by the third one they just called it
Done.
off,
They
and
were done.
it was, again, it happened so fast,
Wow.
but that one was pretty cool
And
because
all of that was, there's pictures. There are pictures. If you guys haven't seen this, you have to go to Brook Siberian and you're gonna find pictures of this.
yeah,
That was your day one. It
Yes.
sounds like a week one.
Yeah.
To be honest.
it was. So, and that was within the hour, 1 hour. I had 2 fights in 2 different parts
And you
of
won
the city,
both.
and won both.
And you didn't warm up for none of that.
No,
No, you just
No,
threw them in
I
there. Like,
didn't.
like, hey, let's go.
Yes.
She was like, I got this.
Yeah.
Like-
I mean, at that point, I'm like,
yeah.
nothing.
Oh my god.
So that was my debut experience. Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Congratulations.
Thank
I was
you,
about to say,
thank
You're amazing.
Yeah.
This is the best cutaway to commercial I've ever had. So let's cut to commercial. And we definitely need a part 2 now that I'm listening to you. But let's cut to commercial right now. When we come back, let's talk about what's happening next for you. And then let's talk about it. So we'll be right back, you guys.
This week's episode of The New Mindset is brought to you by Jeff Mo. Here to tell us more about it is Ozzy, one of the owners. Take it away, bro.
Jeff Mo CBD is a brand based in Southern California. Are you dealing with pain, anxiety, inflammation, stress, and more? Make sure to check us out at jeffmocbd.com. Each batch of our product is lab tested for potency and pesticide. Certificates of analysis can be viewed by going to jeffmocbd.com. So don't panic, it's organic.
All right, guys, we're back. Oh wow, let's. Your day one sounds like a full month. There's some stuff packed into a few hours, but let's catch up to today. So I hear through a little birdie that you have a fight January 27th, 2024. Now, tell me about this fight. What does this next fight mean to you? What's going on?
So this fight is everything that we've been working for, I think, the last 3 years. And
How long
I
have
say
you
that.
prepared for this?
Okay, so granted, I had my debut October 28th,
Okay.
Recently. But the reason why this is a little different is because of the fact that it's with Tom Loeffler's 360 Promotions, and he's the guy that brought us Triple G. Obviously, Chocolatito was, one of the biggest stars.
This is like a good seasoned promoter.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And Jose has done a great job at like always planting the seed and like, reminding me like this, that's where, we'll see each other. We'll see our way towards that route. And so to be able to sit here and say that I'm going to be fighting on that card, it amazes me. And also it doesn't at the same time, because what he always envisions comes to light. Obviously, there's a lot of legwork that goes into believing everything, but it's just a reminder that this is what we're supposed to be doing, that I'm on the right track. And it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, God is literally telling me, keep going, that you're on the right track.
Yeah.
And so that's why it means more to me, I think, because of that message it has. I don't know what it'll, lead to.
Yeah, what it's gonna lead to.
This is just a one fight, right? That we're planning towards. Granted, I mean, we'd love to.
Is this your first professional fight in the year, or is this your first professional fight in general?
Well, technically 2024 would be the first one.
The first fight of 2024.
First fight of 2024, and it will be in LA, which is kind of a homecoming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, because my first one was in Ontario.
Right.
Yeah. So a little further out.
So your family's gonna be there?
Yes, my family's gonna be there. Lots of obviously loved ones, friends, and just my village.
Yeah.
Everybody that has supported me, and even just they're on this journey with me.
How do you feel getting, I mean, you have some time. You're obviously training. I mean, you came here after you were training for what, 5 years straight or something like that. So I actually, so you guys know, you've been training all day today.
Yeah.
You came here to do this podcast, and tomorrow you're gonna go home, take some break, and you're gonna hit it again.
Yes.
So coming into that January month, are you feeling Christmas? What's happening in December? You're really looking towards that. I mean, I can imagine you're so focused.
Yeah. So I think this year is probably the first year that I haven't really given it too much thought, the holidays, because again, this is just 365 days, this sport, and especially the timing of the fight. There is no week off. There is no even day off. It's just the standard Sundays, which is what we normally rest on. Yeah. However, we are gonna make the trip to be with family for dinner.
So you're gonna do the holiday stuff, but you're focused.
Oh yeah.
You're laser.
Yeah. I mean, we're only gonna go after all of the training's already been done, and then do that. I mean, it's a little taxing, right? Because you're gonna be driving there and back, but at the end of the day, we also can't lose focus of the meaning of Christmas, and that is family and being with our loved ones.
Because you're close to your family.
Very close. We're very close to our family. So, honestly, it would be like another weekend because we make the trips to LA, every weekend pretty much. So, it just happens to be Christmas weekend. So, but again, it's great, and it's something that's just part of our life now. It's our lifestyle.
Yeah.
But no week offs.
So what's your I don't know if this is good to ask or not. I don't know if it's good luck, bad luck, or what does it mean, but what's your what do you think this fight is going to be? You think it's going to be another 2-3 rounds and win? Do you think it's going to be a little longer? How are you feeling your contender?
I am prepared to go all the rounds. I am confident in my style and my strengths. We never know what will happen until the bell rings. And I think that's the most important and probably the most exciting part, because I can't tell you. I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm training for. I know what kind of fighter I am. So I know what I will do, but we never know how it'll play, because your dancing partner can change, the entire
style.
Exactly.
Oh,
or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna give it my all, and one of my main priorities is, give a great show. At the end of the day, I love to entertain.
Knowing that you go into it with that type of energy makes me feel like that's a winner, right? You if you go in with the right intentions, the right things will happen. It's the people that kind of go in with the wrong intentions, sometimes that doesn't quite go well. But you look very focused. You seem very determined. Your energy feeds and fills the room. So congratulations on all your success and everything that's coming with it. I feel like your future's only just starting. You truly, truly, truly are breaking something here in the sport. You're breaking something. You're building something. That's fantastic. Congratulations on all of your success.
Thank you.
Let's keep pushing, right? Keep pushing for everybody that wants to be where we are. There's people that don't know. And with that being said, let's cut to our last commercial. When we come back, we're going to close out.
Okay.
And I'm just going to ask you a very simple question that may not have a simple answer.
Okay.
All right, let's get to it.
This episode of The New Mindset is brought to you by Mima's Chile. Here to tell us a little bit about it are Mima and Velma.
Hola, soy Mima. Aquí con mis hijas les invito a comer Mima's Chile.
And I am her daughter, Vilma. Mima's Chile is brought to you from our own kitchen. We're also local to the Coachella Valley. If you like spicy food, then you must try Mima's Chile. You will love it.
All right, guys, we're back. So a few closing thoughts here. First off, thank you for being with us. You might say Coachella Valley. We love to highlight stories like this. Very much a Cinderella story. Very much a you're gonna take it and you're gonna make it. Question for you.
Yes.
People may want to start down this path. People may want to come in and say, hey, how can I do what she does? What's the first step?
The first step is making a decision that you're going to be all in and committing to it. Because you can learn the lifestyle. You can learn the technique. You can learn what it takes, like literally the day-to-day routines, right? But if you are not all the way in and committed, it's not going to happen. You're not going to get far. You have to be committed to the disciplined lifestyle, and you have to be committed to believing in yourself in order to keep pushing through when it gets tough, because that is the number one expectation of this sport. It's going to test you. It's going to demand a lot of you, and it's only going to get harder the more you do it. So if you can accept that and say, I'm ready and I'm all in no matter what, then yeah.
Big step.
Yeah.
You've had, I'm going to assume, many coaches. What's some words of wisdom that stuck with you? That you think about them, and when you're going up there or when you're training, and it's just something in the back of your head. What's that? What does that sound like? What is that message?
Trust your instinct. Trust your preparation. Because that's one thing. Never compromise your training, because you will fall to the level of it.
Something to think about. Wow, that's it. You have great words of wisdom. I don't know what to say. Well, with that being said, this has been the close out of this part. Now we are going to have a behind the scenes. We're going to do a few questions on camera.
Okay.
And for all of you guys listening, don't forget to tune in on that on our Instagram at the New Mindset at the Coachella Valley. Also Facebook, TikTok, all the stuff, YouTube. You'll find us on YouTube. And I want to hear more about what it is that you do. Let's give people what they want to know. Where can people find you, support what you do?
The number one place would be my Instagram, and that is brook.siberian. And then if you follow me, you have to follow Jose, and he is at Mega Soto. Yes, we kind of, tag team on everything, and
Perfect.
He gets sides of me that I don't pose of myself. And vice
Okay,
versa. But yeah, I think that's the go-to place for us. Yeah.
Brooke, it's been fantastic having you. Thank you once again. And a quick thank you to our big sponsor, BuzzBox. You guys, if you haven't heard already, we are doing a bunch of giveaways. Coming into 2024, we're going to have even more giveaways to give to all of you listeners. If you would like to be part of an episode, reach out. I mean, Jose, how did it work out for you? Fast. Do you hear that? We don't mess around. You have a story to tell. We want to hear it. We want you to be here. We want to experience. We want you to experience this. We want to experience this. Well, thank you once again, Brooke. Fantastic work. Good luck to you. The New Mindset will probably be there cheering you on, and we're looking forward to January 27th. Bring the gold.
Yay!
Bring it with you.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you all for being here, and have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.